Hi friends, welcome back to DNA Education, and this is the second part of the first chapter of Science 10th. The chapter is Chemical Reactions and Equations. In the last video, we had discussed the chemical reactions, what are chemical reactions, and how to balance chemical equations. Now we need to learn what are the different types of chemical reactions. So, depending upon the different types of factors involved in a chemical reaction can be of different types. It can be a combination reaction, it can be a displacement reaction, it can be a double displacement reaction, and it can be an oxidation or reduction reaction. Let's study about all these in detail. Simplest of all is a combination reaction. So, a combination reaction is a reaction in which two elements, or one element and one compound, or two compounds combine to give one single product. Or simply, you can say two reactants form one single product, that is a combination reaction. So if you want to see the examples of a combination reaction, the reaction between hydrogen and chloride, which gives HCl, that is H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. This is a combination between two elements and it is forming a compound. So only one product is formed. It is a combination reaction. Another example is the reaction between carbon monoxide and oxygen. It gives carbon dioxide. The reaction is 2CO plus O2 gives 2CO2. This is a reaction between a compound, carbon monoxide, and an element, oxygen, which gives a compound which is carbon dioxide. Only one product is formed, so again this is the combination reaction. Third example we are going to take is between two compounds, ammonia and hydrochloric acid gives ammonium chloride. The reaction is NH3 plus HCl gives NH4Cl. Second type of reaction is a decomposition reaction. What happens here is a single reactant decomposes on the application of heat, light, or electricity maybe to give two or more products. Now, what is decomposition? Decomposition means decaying away or forming a simpler substance. Let's understand this with example. When you heat mercuric oxide, the product formed is mercury. So what is happening here is the mercuric oxide is forming a simpler product by decomposition on application of heat. This reaction is called the thermal decomposition of mercuric oxide. Let's take another example. When silver chloride or AgCl is kept in the presence of light, its photodecomposition happens, and by this reaction silver chloride breaks up into silver and chloride. So silver chloride, which was white in color, forms the product silver, which is grey, and chloride. If you heat ferrous sulfate, the product formed is ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. Ferrous sulfate, which is FeSO4 and is green in color, is decomposed into ferric oxide or Fe2O3 and sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Ferrous sulfate crystals lose water when heated and the color of the crystals changes, and it decomposes to form ferric oxide or Fe2O3 and sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Decomposition of limestone or calcium carbonate is again an example of decomposition reaction. Calcium carbonate decomposes by heat into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also called quicklime. It is also used in manufacturing cement. And as we already know that when a decomposition reaction takes place by application of heat, it is termed as thermal decomposition. Thermal refers to heat. The decomposition reaction takes place with lead nitrate to form lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. Lead nitrate, which is PbNO3 whole 2, it is solid. When applied with heat, forms lead oxide PbO, which is again a solid, and nitrogen dioxide, that is NO2 plus O2 oxygen. Silver bromide also undergoes decomposition reaction when kept under sunlight. So let us see this reaction. Silver bromide, which is AgBr, it is a solid, decomposes to form the simpler products, which is Ag and Br, to silver and bromide. So students, all these were the examples of decomposition reaction, and if you must have noticed that all the decomposition reactions require energy, external energy, they absorb energy, and such reactions which need energy to be carried out, or reactions in which the absorption of energy is needed, are called endothermic reactions. Endo here means within and thermic means heat. Another type of reaction is an exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction is the reaction in which heat is given out. And exo here means outside and thermic means heat. Next type of reaction is the displacement reaction. In a displacement reaction, more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound or the solution. If we take the example of the reaction between zinc and copper sulfate, it forms zinc sulfate and copper. In this case, zinc is a more reactive element and it replaces copper in copper sulfate and forms zinc sulfate, and copper has been replaced. Taking another example is the reaction between copper and silver nitrate, Cu plus AgNO3. The product we get is CuNO3, copper nitrate, plus silver. So copper is more reactive here than silver. Copper displaces silver in silver nitrate and combines with nitrate and forms copper nitrate. So displacement of the element, a more reactive element, is taking place with the less reactive element. In a reaction between lead and copper chloride, lead chloride is formed because lead is more reactive than copper. So lead displaces copper in copper chloride and forms lead chloride. Next type of reaction is double displacement reaction. What happens here is that an exchange of ions between the reactants takes place to form new products. For example, a reaction between sodium sulfate and barium chloride forms barium sulfate and sodium chloride. In this reaction, a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed. So, as precipitate is formed in this reaction is called a precipitation reaction. So, in this reaction, a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed by the reaction of sulfate ion and barium ion. Let me give you another example here of double displacement reaction in which precipitation also occurs. Lead nitrate reacts with potassium iodide to form potassium nitrate and lead iodide. So in this reaction, exchange of lead ions and potassium ions is taking place, and as a result of this, the product we are getting is potassium nitrate and lead iodide. Lead iodide is forming a yellow precipitate. So this is again a precipitation reaction. Another type of example is a redox reaction. A redox reaction is that reaction in which oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. So you must have understood how we got the name redox, reduction and oxidation. So redox reaction. What is oxidation? A substance is said to have undergone oxidation when it loses electrons from the atom, or it loses hydrogen ions, or gains oxygen. So simply, oxidation is addition of oxygen or the removal of hydrogen. For example, a reaction between magnesium and oxygen, it is Mg plus O2, we form magnesium oxide, which is MgO. So here addition of oxygen is taking place, and therefore it is an oxidation reaction. Another example is the formation of ferrous or Fe2+. Ferrous is formed by iron Fe when a loss of 2 electrons takes place or oxidation takes place. Now reduction is the process in which addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen takes place. Oxidation is addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen, and reduction is addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. So let's see an example. Sodium hydride is formed by addition of hydrogen to sodium. Sodium plus hydrogen forms sodium hydride. This is a reduction reaction because addition of hydrogen is taking place. So a redox reaction is a reaction in which both oxidation and reduction occurs simultaneously. For example, a reaction between copper oxide and hydrogen gives copper and water. So CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. In this, copper is getting reduced because oxygen is getting removed, and hydrogen is getting oxidized because in the product we are forming water, H2O, so oxygen is being added. Oxidation and reduction both are taking place in this reaction simultaneously. This is a perfect example of a redox reaction. Zinc oxide plus carbon gives zinc plus carbon monoxide. In this reaction, carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide CO, and ZnO, zinc oxide, is reduced to zinc. So both reduction and oxidation are again taking place in this reaction. Then a reaction between manganese dioxide and hydrochloric acid gives manganese chloride and water and chloride. In this reaction, hydrochloric acid HCl is oxidized to chloride because hydrogen is removed, and manganese dioxide is reduced to manganese chloride as oxygen is reduced. So both oxidation and reduction are again taking place in this reaction also. So in conclusion, we can say that if a substance gains oxygen or loses hydrogen during a reaction, it is oxidized, and if a substance loses oxygen or gains hydrogen during a reaction, it is reduced. Even in daily life, we come across many redox reactions. For example, corrosion and rancidity. Corrosion is gradual deterioration of a material, usually a metal, by the action of moisture, air, or chemicals in the surrounding environment. Or you can say just eating away of a metal article by the action of moisture, chemicals, or air in the surrounding environment is called corrosion. And in case of iron, it is called rusting. When iron reacts with air and moisture in it, that is water, it forms rust. You must have seen color of the coating formed on copper and silver. When any metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture and acids, it is said to corrode. The black coating on silver and the green coating on copper are the examples of corrosion only. Corrosion causes damage to the car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and to many other objects made of metals, especially those of iron. There are a few ways by which rusting can be prevented. These ways can be painting the article, lubricating with oil, galvanization, which is the process of depositing a thin layer of zinc on the iron article. Electroplating and alloying are other methods by which corrosion can be prevented. Another example of redox reaction in daily life was rancidity. Students, you must have seen mostly in summers that if we keep any food item at room temperature for a long time, it becomes stale. This happens due to the oxidation of food. When fats and oils are oxidized, they become rancid and smell and their taste changes. Usually the substances which prevent oxidation or the antioxidants are added to food containing fats and oils. Keeping food in airtight containers may also help to slow down oxidation. So once again, let me just recall the types of reactions we have studied today. They are combination reaction, decomposition reaction, single displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, and redox reaction. So that was all about the types of reactions. Take care of yourself and we will meet in the next video.